The deterrent effect must be given to the perpetrators of crime, so that criminals do not repeat their mistakes and become a deterrent. This method has been carried out since several centuries ago. The punishments given in ancient times were more cruel than in today's times, including the perpetrators of crimes being given food that has been poisoned, put in boiling water, and even skinned alive. These are the 5 most cruel punishments that have ever occurred in the history of criminal law. Scaphism. Scaphism is known as a very heinous and terrible punishment for the perpetrators of crimes. This punishment has been imposed since ancient times in Persia. The suspects who are proven to have committed a crime will be tied to a log that has been perforated or tied and then put into a boat. Then the criminals are forced to drink milk until their stomachs are distended and tell of severe diarrhea. In another way, milk that has been mixed with honey they apply on the boat and all parts of the body of the criminal. Then the boat is immediately thrown into the open sea. Because of the smell of the aroma of milk and honey mixed with the rest of human waste, it can easily attract the thousands of insects that begin to gather on the boat. The criminal will die slowly from lack of drinking so that he becomes dehydrated, and also from bites and stings from insects. Pone Kale. Ancient people in ancient times have used this method to kill their own family members and their closest relatives cruelly. In practice, a crime defendant is put in a sack made of tanned leather. But the criminal is not alone in the sack, but before the crime defendant is put into the sack, a number of animals such as dogs, snakes, scorpions, and other venomous animals. The sack containing a criminal defendant and various dangerous animals in it are then thrown into the river. The criminal defendant will die by drowning and also being stung or slowly gnawed by the animals that are with him. White torture cell. Criminals are specifically tortured psychologically. Physically, everything that appears around the perpetrators is white, starting from the clothes, the place where the prisoners are kept, and also the white food. This method aims to damage the sensory nerves to the perpetrators of the crime. Even the prison guards also wear white clothes. Not only that, a white light will continue to be lit during the sentencing process, and no one is allowed to talk to him. The criminal will be left to live alone but still be given food. This punishment has happened in Iran. Amir Fakhrovar is one of the accused of crimes who feel this punishment. He was arrested in Iran in 2004 and sentenced by this method for more than 8 months. As a result of the punishment given to Amir, after he was released from prison, he became mentally disturbed, or he became insane. He can no longer communicate with other people normally, and he even forgot his parents. Drawing and quartering. Those who are found guilty will then be tied to both hands and feet with a rope attached to the horse. Together the 4 horses were forced to run so as to pull the part of the criminal's body that had been tied up. With all their might the horses would pull until every part of the body of the criminal began to be dismembered. If the perpetrator's body can withstand it, an executioner who stands not far from where the execution was carried out immediately swings an axe large enough to finish the sentence. Lynchai. This punishment was finally officially banned and terminated because it was considered too vile and painful. In ancient times, the Chinese state often applied this heinous punishment to convicts who were considered as espionage and could be a danger to their country. The death row convicts will be punished by gently peeling their skin off, and the convicts are forced to feel excruciating pain and eventually die slowly due to excessive bleeding. As usual, this punishment will be carried out in the open where anyone can see the process of this punishment firsthand. This method aims to make other people who see it feel fear and do not make the same mistake. Apart from China, it is written in several history books that countries in the Middle East and Africa have applied this sadistic method of punishment. However, some of the methods used in Middle Eastern countries are slightly different. When before skinning all parts of the body, the perpetrators of the crime must immediately admit their actions. As for after the perpetrator has admitted his guilt, this sentence will be stopped immediately. In the history books it is also written, those who have been skinned but do not die immediately will be placed directly under the hot sun. Their bodies will feel tremendous pain accompanied by a burning heat on the wounds caused, so that they are sure to be really tortured and die. At that time a belief said, bodies that were allowed to enter heaven were for those who died with their body parts still available. But those who had been punished by skinning would never enter heaven because their body parts were no longer perfect. Those are the 5 most heinous and terrible punishments in ancient times. What do you think? Which punishment do you think is still relevant to punish the perpetrators of a very cruel crime if applied in this day and age? Write your comments below.